If you've been using Gemini mostly as a search tool, you're missing out on a lot of its capabilities. Today, we're going to put some of those to the test. My name is Dennis, and I'm here documenting some of the things I learned and sharing them with the world. So today, we're going to run a live experiment. I'm going to have Gemini dig through a massive mess of travel-related booking emails and find my flights, hotels, and build me a complete travel itinerary. Then we'll use Canvas mode, Google Docs, and Google Maps to refine the trip and find things to do along the way. Let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and first start with a prompt. I'm gonna ask it to pull some details from a previous vacation I went on in Iceland. And so I'm gonna say at Gmail, can you look through my booking and Airbnb reservations for the accommodation I booked between May 27th and June 11th? And I'm going to add at the end, do not include any canceled reservations because I canceled and rebooked a couple things, so I don't want those to show up on here. The great thing about Gemini that the other LLMs don't have is access to your email, right? Because it's a Google product, you can access your email, you can integrate with Google Docs, with Google Slides, and the entire G Suite. And so that is the specific use case I prefer Gemini, is being able to do this. All right, so you can see right here that it's pulling up all of my reservations between May 27th and June 11th. Double check this to make sure it's correct because I did notice when I was trying out this experimentation that it messed up a little bit and it got some of my canceled reservations. But in case you forgot to add that little section, that's something to check. So this is all correct. These are all my reservations, confirmation codes, dates, as well as locations and the platform, right? So some of them were booking.com, some of them were Airbnb, and it's gotten all of that. So let's do this. Let's go onto Canvas mode. So you hit this plus sign, click on Canvas, and this essentially allows you to work with AI to code, to create documents together. But I am going to say using actually, let's do something else. Let's use the microphone. Using this itinerary, can you help me create a travel plan? All right, it's going to take a couple seconds to think, and we are going to get a travel plan. Now, if you are a traveler, I think this is a really good way to get started using AI, but I don't think that it is a great way to finish a trip. And so I've done this a couple times before, but I've noticed that it doesn't give me like the perfect plan, but it does a pretty good job giving you a good rough guideline of things you should do. I like to do word of mouth, so I always ask around to see what's worth doing, but also looking through blogs, through YouTube videos. There's like a lot of sources that you can use, but this is a really good way to get a really rough itinerary of what a travel plan might look like. So we have right here this travel plan. It's fully integrated with Google Docs, so you can see right here that you have adjustments to heading, you can bold, italicize, you can print as well, and you can export this into Google Docs. But the great thing about using Canvas mode is that you can work with AI in this document together. So let's do this, okay? Me and my family really enjoy hiking and doing outdoors activities. Can you add 1 to 3 additional activities per day in case we have time? And it's going to think about what to do. It's going to pull resources from the internet to research each location, and it's going to add things to this document, just from this one prompt. And I'm using the voice because my keyboard's a little bit noisy, but it is kind of nice to just talk. If you're on your phone and you're traveling, you're in your car and you have some time, it's a great way to use this tool as well, as you can just talk to the AI and ask it to do things. All right, it has now updated the file to have 1 to 3 extra outdoor or hiking activities each day. You can see right here, day 1, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible activities to do. And let's just make sure it's consistent throughout the whole thing. Okay. Oh, and all the highlighted sections that it just added are now labeled optional outdoor hiking activities. Perfect. Let's do 2 more things just to show you the power of this tool, okay? Let's do this. Can you access Google Maps and give me the approximate driving time between each location? right? And that's kind of information you might want to have if you're planning a trip, if you're creating an itinerary, is how long is it going to take? And what I want to do is just showcase to you the power of this tool. Okay, connecting to Google Maps. Now, I actually did go on this trip a few months ago, so I like this as a reference because I did most of these things on this plan, and I used AI actually to plan a lot of that trip. Let's see, should we do? Okay, it's adding the driving time now between each location. Should we do anything else with this? Let's do something. Okay, I know what to do. I've showed you right now that you can use the left side, right, of this tool to build and co-create with AI. But let's do something kind of silly now. Let's highlight the letter M and say, can you for the sake of an activity, can you capitalize all the letter M in this document?
A few moments later.
Yeah, so now my document looks kind of wonky, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible. It went ahead and it capitalized all of the letters M's in this entire document. So if you needed to do, any mass editing of any document, that's what you can do. You can highlight something and then you can ask it to, delete this, alter this, find other situations where this word appears, and then do something with that word. I think it's quite powerful. Now, when you're done with your document, you can go ahead and hit create and turn this into a web page, an infographic, a quiz, flashcards, audio overview, describe your own app. So, you can create something out of it, but you can also just export this to Google Docs, okay? So you can create this to Google Docs, you can print it, all useful stuff. And that's the experiment. I was actually pretty impressed with how well Gemini was able to take a bunch of messy booking emails and turn them into a usable itinerary. And Canvas mode gave me a surprisingly powerful way to make very specific changes to that itinerary. So, if you enjoyed watching me experiment with AI and want to actually figure out what works, consider subscribing. I document what I learn and I try to share all the useful stuff here. And let me know in the comments, what would you have Gemini do with your inbox? So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.